Hi there, it's me, Asia, with a new video on how to write a perfect letter. Or do you prefer this beginning? Good morning. I would like first to introduce myself before outlining what I intend to demonstrate in this video. My name is Asia Miat, and the purpose of my video today is to explain how you can both are perfectly reasonable introductions for two very different situations. The first is informal when I'm talking to friends. The second would be fine if I were given a presentation at a conference for people I don't know. Just as my fashion styles differ, so do my speaking styles. And that applies to not only our social lives, but also to IELTS General Training Writing Task 1, the letter which we'll be discussing today. The tone of the letter must fit perfectly with the context. So let me show you what phrases, what language you should use in different types of formal and informal letters. It's Asia. Let's get started. When you're talking about the IELTS General Training Letter, we should be absolutely clear about two things. The first is the level of formality. It's something we have to work out for ourselves by reading the task details. Look at this example. You tell me, is it formal or informal? You're preparing for an event in the countryside. Write a letter to your friend and ask for help with the arrangements. In your letter, describe what the event is and why it is being held. What arrangements have already been made. How your friend can help. That's right. It's to a friend, it's got to be informal. What about this one? Your company is preparing an event for its employees. Write a letter to an event management company requesting their services. In your letter, describe what the event is and why it is being held. Give details of what arrangements will be required. Ask for their suggestions and proposals. Writing from one company to another is definitely formal. Both tasks are about an event, but the tone is very different. The second point to be clear about is the type of letter we are writing. What's the main purpose of the letter? To thank someone, to apologize, to apply for a job, perhaps to complain, suggest, or as in these two examples, request something? We'll be talking about several of these letters today. Writing a good letter means identifying the type of letter you have to write and making absolutely sure you cover all three bullet points, as well as, of course, using the right tone and expressions. Let's take a closer look at the language you can use in informal and formal contexts, starting right at the beginning. Using the two example tasks about the planned event we have, in case of the informal letter, the beginning is, Dear John. What comes next? With the informal letter, I like to greet and make some kind of comment before stating our real purpose. For you, it's a great opportunity to show off your grammar as well as your use of colloquial expressions. Notice the use of the present perfect tense. How are you? It's been a while, hasn't it? The last time must have been Susan's wedding. After that, we should add our reason for writing, or should we say getting in touch. Whenever you can, in informal letters, use less formal expressions. Anyway, I'm getting in touch because at work I'm organizing the annual company get-together. Note that it's perfectly alright to use contractions in this informal letter. Let's switch to the formal letter. Dear Sir or Madam. The opening paragraph must go straight to the point. I am writing to you. Let's look at two nice and easy ways to continue this sentence. I am writing to you in regard to something or to request something. It's a kind of hook to attract the reader's attention. We could continue it like this. I'm writing to you in regard to our annual company anniversary event to be held the second weekend of July this year. Notice the difference in vocabulary. The casual get-together turns into an anniversary event. The very personal I'm organizing it becomes the grammatically more distant and complex passive voice. The event is to be held, where the collocation to hold an event maintains this level of formality. I've already mentioned how important it is to cover the 3 bullet points you're given. In my courses, we discuss how to write each part of formal, informal, and semi-formal letters. And I'll link the general pack in the description if you'd like to check it out. Now, let's concentrate on those moments when we are really communicating with the person we are writing to. For example, the third of these bullet points always involves some kind of action that needs to be taken. The idea is to ask for your friend's help. This we can do with a very casual tone. Look, I know you have contacts in the event business, so could you help us out on this? How about this? It would be great if you can help us out on this. It's a bit urgent, so can you get back to me as soon as you can? Compare how we might express a request in our formal letter. We'll use expressions that are very formal and almost fixed. Used so frequently that they become the most common way to say something. Therefore, I would be very grateful if you could send details of your services. I would very much appreciate it if you could send those details. Could you please send the details? Notice here the extra layers of politeness expressed through the use of modal verbs would and could. I would be grateful. I would very much appreciate it if you could. This brings us to how to close the letter. Very often in a letter to a friend, we make some kind of comment. Let's keep in touch or say hello to. So have a look at these. Anyway, let's meet up soon. Let me know when you're free to meet up. How about meeting up for a meal sometime soon? Give my love or give my best regards to the name of person, to Jane. Compare those to the formal letter options. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to your reply. And if a face-to-face meeting is planned, I look forward to meeting you. So look forward to followed by a gerund, meeting, hearing, or a noun. This is a practically universal way to close the letter. After closing, we need to sign it off. And there are some general rules in case of formal letters. In the UK, if you don't know the name of the person you're writing to, it's yours faithfully, followed by your signature and full name. Whereas if you have the name, say it's Mr. Brown, who's the event company managing director, then we'll write yours sincerely. In the United States, however, the tendency is to write sincerely yours in both contexts. Of course, our personal informal letter is much more open. Not only do you use your first name, but you have a choice of phrases to sign off with. All the best, best regards, lots of love, speak soon. Choose whichever you feel comfortable with. Today we've started by looking at one type of letter, making a request. That's because it's a very common type in Task 1. Now let's move on to the letter of complaint or making a suggestion. After describing some kind of a problem, you make suggestions to help solve this problem. Look at this example. You use the local swimming pool often, and during one of your visits, You have encountered a problem. Write a letter to the manager, describe what the problem was, and suggest your own solution to this problem. So let's go with this problem. Other swimmers have been entering the pool covered in sun cream because of the recent heat wave. This has caused the water to go cloudy and you have felt some eye irritation. So, how can you make a suggestion? As a solution, I would suggest that you place notices both in the changing rooms and at poolside, informing all swimmers that no sun creams are allowed. Or, might I suggest that you place notices? Or, one way to prevent this problem would be to place notices. Again, the use of modal verbs would, might, makes it more polite and formal. Here is another topic. You bought something and it's broken. Say what you would like the shop manager to do. The easiest thing to ask is to replace the item. As a result, I should like the item to be replaced as soon as possible. I therefore request that you take the necessary steps to replace the item as soon as possible. If you're really dissatisfied with the shop, you can substitute more diplomatic request with a stronger insist. I insist that you replace the item as soon as possible. Now let's take a more friendly topic, a thank you and/or invitation letter. Have a look at this one. You recently went to visit a friend in their new home. Write a letter to your friend. In the letter, tell your friend what you liked about his or her new house. Say what you enjoyed most about your stay with your friend. Suggest when and where you could meet your friend next. So, of course, our tone is informal. Let's start with a thank you. Thank you so much for having me over at your new place last weekend. I just wanted to say a big thank you for having me or for your hospitality. Notice the simplicity of the verbs want, having me, not inviting me or allowing me to stay. And next. Why don't we get together again soon? Next month there is the Arts and Music Festival down here. It would be great if you could make it. Of course, there are lots of possibilities when it comes to inviting someone. Most don't include would you like to when there are friends involved. More like how about or I'd love it if you could come here. What about the more formal level? Well, writing a thank you to a restaurant for its excellent service is one possibility. An invitation to someone to come and give a talk at your college or workplace is another. Once again, the more formal the context, the more likely it is that we use a kind of fixed expression. Let's try it out. I should like to express my thanks and congratulations to all the staff at your restaurant for the outstanding service they provided. I would like to express my gratitude for the first-class service your restaurant provided. And here is a formal invitation. I would like to formally invite you to our college to give a speech to... Before you start writing your letter, read the task instructions and read them again. Then use a couple of minutes to plan your letter, organize your paragraphs, think of the context, give precise details when you have to, be clear and be consistent. Remember what the task 1 descriptors tell us. Band 7, clear purpose and tone consistent and appropriate. Band 8 and 9, assume your tone is fine and expect that you either fully satisfy all requirements or sufficiently satisfy them when it comes to achieving your purpose. How can you satisfy all these requirements? Let me show you this using a full sample letter in this video here. Please check it out and thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!